Was Luther really a reformer, a revolutionary, or a rebel? Let's find out. To many Protestants, Reformation Day is a cause for celebration. It's hailed as a milestone in Christian history, an event they view as the greatest move of the Holy Spirit since the time of the apostles. Martin Luther is praised as a courageous reformer, standing up to the abuses of the Catholic Church and igniting a movement that would transform Christianity forever. But was that really the case? Did Luther's action bring about a necessary renewal to the Church, or something far more damaging? To answer this, let's first take a look at the state of the Church during Luther's time. After overcoming severe persecution from pagan Roman Empire, heretics trying to distort the truth, invaders, the Dark Ages, and several crusades, it seemed like the Church could have used a bit of peace and quiet. However, the 16th century Church had a lot of problems. Priests were corrupt, indulgences were being sold to get rid of sins, and in some places, simony, or the buying and selling ecclesiastical offices, was also widely practiced. So yes, the Church was badly in need of reform. But corruption in the Church was not a new phenomenon. In fact, history shows that the Church had survived previous scandals, bad popes, morally compromised bishops, and priests who failed to live up to their calling. Now back to Luther. Luther, as a young Augustinian monk, was plagued by anxiety and an overwhelming fear of going to hell. His focus on rigorous ascetic practices wasn't driven by a desire to grow closer to God, but rather by a deep fear of damnation. It was only after reading St. Paul's letters that he came to believe that faith alone, not works, justifies a person before God. At first, he kept these reflections private and wasn't thinking about reform. However, around this time, some priests began selling indulgences to raise funds for St. Peter's Basilica, offering people a way to reduce the time their loved ones would spend in purgatory. To be clear, the Church does not sell indulgences, nor does it teach that you can buy your relatives out of purgatory. We've done a few detailed videos explaining what purgatory is and how indulgences work, which you can check out by clicking the links in the description. For Luther, this marked a breaking point. He famously nailed his 95 Theses to the church door, aiming to spark public debate. With the help of the printing press, his statements, some orthodox, others heretical, quickly spread throughout Europe. While the statements primarily addressed purgatory, indulgences, and related practices, within a few years, Luther took on even more radical positions. He abandoned his monastic vows, declared the Pope to be the Antichrist, rejected 5 of the 7 sacraments, and challenged many core doctrines of the Church that had been part of Christianity for over 1500 years. Luther's actions set off a chain reaction of division that continues to this day. What began as a protest against abuses led to the splintering of Christianity into thousands of denominations, each claiming to hold the truth. Instead of being united under one shepherd, each denomination has their own pastor or lead in charge. Instead of following the faith and teachings passed down by the apostles and their successors, each one picks and chooses what they want to believe. If you don't like something about your current church, or if you don't agree with its teachings, then just start your own church. Even though many Protestants claim to be united on the most important aspects of the faith, the truth is that there are major disagreements even about the most basic elements of the faith, like who is a Christian and how are we saved. This is a far cry from Jesus' hope and prayer that his followers should be united as one. But some claim that after the apostolic age, the Church was corrupted and led astray by false teachers, and it wasn't until the Reformation that through Martin Luther, the Holy Spirit reclaimed Christ's true church. But this just doesn't keep with what Jesus himself said about his church. Christ and his apostles frequently warned against false prophets and bad shepherds, urging us to stay vigilant. Yet amid these warnings, Christ made an unshakable promise. His church would never fail. The gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Through trials, divisions, and scandals, this promise stands firm to this day. So, did the Reformation actually reform the church for the better? No. The reality is that all Christian communities, Catholic and Protestant alike, have their fair share of corruption, scandals, bad leadership, and misinterpretation of traditional teachings. You don't stay in the church because the leaders are perfect. But you also don't abandon the church because you disagree with some of its teachings or sinful leaders. Christ established it and vowed to protect it. Regardless of human shortcomings, the church endures not because of human perfection, but because of Christ's promise to uphold it. Luther may have seen reform as necessary, but his approach led to division, not unity. Rather than celebrating, we should use this day to pray for the healing of the church and for those who have fallen away to return to the fullness of Christ's true church. So, what do you think about this? Do you think the Reformation was courageous or catastrophic? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, let us know by liking and subscribing to our channel. It really helps us a lot. Until next time.